My First Bible presents Hannah's Prayer. In the mountainous region of the tribe of Ephraim, there was a man called Elkanah. Elkanah had 2 wives. One of them was called Hannah, and the other one Peninnah. Peninnah had kids, but Hannah didn't, since she was sterile. This was the motive why Peninnah molested Hannah. You don't have any children! She used to torment her to make her angry and cry, since Jehovah had not granted her children. Every year, Elkanah left her village to adore and offer sacrifices to Jehovah in Shiloh, where Hophni and Phinehas, the 2 sons of Eli, were the priests of Jehovah. When the day came in which he offered his sacrifice, he took his wives and kids for them to eat. Elkanah used to give Peninnah and her children their share. But Hannah got a special share, for he loved her even though she wasn't able to give him any children. Peninnah made sure to say something cruel to Hannah. He has given you more, but that doesn't mean you're special. He pities you because you can't give him any children. Every year when they offered sacrifices, the same thing happened. Peninnah tormented Hannah and didn't stop until she cried. So Elkanah, her husband, told her, "Hannah, why are you crying? Why aren't you eating? Am I not better than you than 10 children?" Later, being in Shiloh, Hannah decided to go to the tabernacle. She started praying there with a great anguish within her and crying uncontrollably. She started whispering and talking to God about her suffering and begging him to give her a child. So she made a promise. "Jehovah of the army, if you deign to look at the affliction of your servant, if you would listen to my prayer and grant me a son, I would devote him to you every day of his life, and he will never cut his hair off." At that moment, Eli the priest was in sight, who was sitting in his chair next to a pillar of the temple. As she was praying for some time, Eli looked at her mouth. Her lips were moving, but as she was praying in a really low voice, he couldn't hear her voice. That's why he thought she was drunk. "Hey! Oh my God, I can't believe it! Woman, for how long will your drunkenness last? Quit the wine now!" When hearing this, Hannah replied, "Oh, no, my lord. I haven't drank wine or cider. I'm just a sad woman who has come to unburden herself before the Lord. Please don't take me as an impious woman. I have been praying due to my sadness and affliction." Eli felt really bad and said, "Huh? Oh, then may the God of Israel grant you what you have asked him. Go in peace." When Hannah listened to these words, she was happy. She said goodbye and left. From that moment, her face changed. When she returned home, Hannah was happy because she was faithful that God would give her the child she was asking for. Sometime after, it happened. Hannah and Elkanah were pregnant, and at their own time, they had a son. And Hannah named him Samuel because she said, "I asked the Lord for him, and he listened." Hannah didn't forget about the promise she made to God of never cutting his hair off and to devote him every day to the service of the Lord. As every year, Elkanah had to return to the Shiloh to offer his sacrifice to God. But this time, Hannah didn't go with him. "I will not go until it is no longer necessary to breastfeed Samuel," she explained to her husband. "After that, I will take him to devote him to the Lord, and there he will stay for the rest of his life." "Okay, You do what you think is better, Elkanah answered. Stay until the breastfeeding is no longer necessary to make the Lord honor his word.
Blah, blah, blah.
Like that,
Blah, blah, blah.
Elkanah, Peninnah, and the rest of their children went to Shiloh,
Blah, blah, blah.
while Hannah stayed home and raised her son until he stopped breastfeeding. When the time came, Hannah took Samuel to the tabernacle in Shiloh to keep the promise she had made to the Lord. Although the child was still really small, Hannah had made up her mind to devote him to the Lord. She took with her 3 calves, flour, and a glass of wine. After the calves were slaughtered, Hannah presented the child to Eli. My lord, do you remember me? It's me, the woman who some time ago was praying here. You saw me crying, begging to the Lord. Drunk? Yes, of course I remember you. I was praying to have this kid, and God gave him to me. And well, I promised I would devote my son to him every day of his life. So, Eli took the child Samuel so that he would remain in the tabernacle and serve the Lord. Hannah, on her side, sang to the Lord a song of praise and appreciation for answering her prayer. Each year, Hannah made a little tunic and gave it to Samuel when she went with her husband to offer the sacrifices. Eli gave his blessing to Elkanah and Hannah, saying that the Lord would give them more children. And Hannah and Elkanah did have 5 more children, 3 sons and 2 daughters. While Samuel was serving the Lord in the tabernacle. Subscribe, comment, like this post, and follow us on our social media accounts. Hey, we will greet our friends who have commented on our post. If you want a greeting in the next video, follow us and comment on the latest posts on our networks, Instagram and YouTube. The next greetings go to Karabo and Siba from Johannesburg, South Africa, Sharon from India, Gladwin and Chen, Ashish Tamang Waiba 3386, Tinashe and Fatima from South Africa, Elaine Hadassah, Amdina 01, Matthias from Chile, Jackie Danu Dupuy from France, Ruvara Shemadzime 8847, EDZ5 from Philippines, Tina Linton from Jamaica, IMN Kirote from Kenya, Rachel Love 8498, Jolie Camila from Greece, Master of Laughter 870, Veronica Rivas, Jamila and Donnet from Jamaica, Joanna from Pakistan, Samuel Law, Zahalia Anglin, Melissa from the Philippines,